Hello, and we are back with day 7 of our Freshers Live chat show. So, I am Liz.
And I'm Meg.
And we'll be bringing you everything you need to know about the rest of Freshers from today and recapping over what you guys have already done. So today is AU Sports Fair.
AU Sports Fair.
So AU is Athletic Union.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a lie. Yesterday was AU Sports Fair.
Right. Today's Society's Fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we will be talking about AU Fair from yesterday, and we'll have an interview with Tom Kelly, who is your VP Sports, and he'll be coming in about like 5 to 10 minutes,
cool.
Which should be pretty cool. So if you missed the fair yesterday, what you needed to know was...
Basically, it was all the societies, sports societies,
and
talking
clubs,
about their give it a goes and what they're doing, competitions, things that they're famous for around the uni, like there was mountaineering and bike riding and ice hockey and tennis and boxing. I'm in boxing society,
Oh,
so I love it.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, so what kind of stuff what are you doing in
So
boxing?
I'm a beginner, so there's an intermediate course and then there's an advanced, and you just spar and you talk to your gym teacher and he tells you different moves, and I feel really good about it after.
Oh.
And there's like a
Well,
45
we wouldn't want to
minutes.
mess with you as well
No,
now,
not at all, no.
Well, yeah, I know Amelia, who was down there from
Right.
CUTV yesterday, said that mountaineering was pretty cool. She
Yeah.
said that looked really, really cool.
Yeah, and they have an international competition in France, so that's
yeah,
amazing.
so going international, that is always a bonus,
I
isn't it,
know,
really?
yep.
Any reason to go abroad, we all love that.
Yep.
Well, I think we're going to run to our sports fair video
Cool.
from yesterday, so you guys can take a little look if you missed it, or if you were there, you can like review what sports clubs that we interviewed, and then we'll have Tom Kelly.
We're at the Cardiff Uni Sports Fair, where it is absolutely packed, and we're going to take a look at some of the societies that you want to join. So we're with mountaineering with Jake and Emily. How are you doing, guys? How's the sign up look?
Oh, brilliant. It's very good. Loads of people here. Everyone likes a free cake.
And in terms of your events, have you got any Give It a Go coming up soon?
Yeah, we got 3 Give It a Goes coming up, 2 indoors and 1 outdoors in the Gala.
And what about for the events for the rest of the year? Do they take place just here in Cardiff or anywhere else?
No, we go all across Wales, like the Brecon Beacons, the Peak District. We do ice climbing in Scotland, sport climbing in Spain, and bouldering in France.
Wow, going international, I like it. Right, if you had you have to give the audience 3 reasons why they should join mountaineering.
Great socials, great aspect of fitness as well, and we get to go all over the world to climb.
Nice, cool. Well, good luck with today, and I might take a cake. So I'm here with Shaquille with the Rugby Society. When are the trials?
Trials are tomorrow, 10 a.m. at Cardiff Farms Park.
And what abilities can join?
Any ability goes can join the rugby club, it's open to all abilities.
And what do they have to look forward to? Like, why people should join?
The camaraderie in the rugby club, we have an array of socials. You make some of your best friends in the rugby club as well. Lots of training, and we play at all sorts of levels as well. So again, like I said, open to all abilities. Everyone.
That sounds really cool. So I'm here with Oscar and Bertie with the men's hockey. I want to ask you a few questions, guys. Do you have any more Give It a Go sessions or any trials coming up?
Yeah, we got a Give It a Go session on Sunday on our brand new Taliban Astro, which should be really good for boys and girls.
Nice. And what events do you do, Oscar, Bertie, throughout the whole year?
So we have socials every Wednesday at the Black Weir, where the both boys and girls come, so everyone's very involved, very inclusive. But that's every Wednesday. And also we have, it's called Hit Up on the Pitch.
So I'm here with the tennis team. Let's talk about what abilities we get joined.
So basically, like, we cater for like all abilities. So whether you are like a beginner first time, we can do lessons for them, or whether you've played for years and want to like give the team a try, we literally cater for like everybody, all abilities.
So we've got the social side and we've got the team side. We'll talk about where the social team train.
So where the social team train, yeah. So we've got 11 courts down at the Cardiff Lawn Tennis Club, just by the castle. It's a really, really beautiful location. We've got 3 clay courts, 4 acrylics, and 4 outdoor hard courts. There's plenty of space for everyone.
Nice. And what about the team?
The team practices house sport, so we got lots of good courts and space and good stories.
Nice. And give me 3 reasons why people would be joining tennis.
Well, last year we were the third biggest club in the university, so it's definitely a great club to meet lots of people and just make loads of new friends.
To practice your fitness and tennis as a sport. Just because it's really good fun. Yeah, great socials.
Well, good luck today, guys. Take care.
We're back with Tom Kelly, who is your VP Sports, and we'll be asking him a few little questions about yesterday's sports fair as well as you as VP Sports in general.
Yeah, so Tom, what new policies have you brought about on like the various societies, sports societies?
So for the different sports clubs, the first thing I'm doing is I'm trying to improve and promote how inclusive and open the sports clubs are for LGBT students. Putting in a pair of rainbow laces from the Out in Sport campaign into every single freshers' halls of room, along with a leaflet explaining how open they are. There'll be a number of few things that go on over the course of the year to help promote sort of the strategy, the campaign over the course of the year.
Great.
Okay, that sounds really cool. So I know that was a big thing of yours because I saw you when you were all running for positions before. I came to it's like a mini AGM type thing, isn't it? So yeah. So how are you gonna move forward in the year with sort of promoting LGBT kind of acceptance in sport?
LGBT acceptance in sport. Moving on from the start of this year with the laces in everybody's room, there'll be a number of key things, one of which will be hopefully involving all the different presidents of the sports clubs during AU Council and getting all the different sports clubs on board and involved in the campaign.
Okay, cool. It's like a super important thing that shouldn't be an issue at all in sports, and so it's really great that's something that you're focusing on. And I know they've opened applications now for the other part-time officers, and there's actually spaces for LGBT officers. So if you guys are interested in that, then it would definitely be super important to get involved.
That's really nice that you're trying to be inclusive of everybody when it comes to sports, which is just a very harmonious thing in university especially. Yeah. So do you have any advice for new freshers on how to pick a sport or what sport?
How to pick a sport?
How to pick a sport they're comfortable with.
They're comfortable with. I think there are 67 different sports, so near enough anything you can imagine you can get involved in here at Cardiff. In terms of picking the sport, it's really up to the person. I would just go with what you sort of find interesting. It might be something you've never done before. It might be something you've done before at school. I would, just pick a sport, get involved, have fun.
There's quite a lot of fun sports actually, like the water sports I think look quite cool, or like surf and stuff. I would be literally terrible at that stuff, but I think it looks cool.
I need to go down with them and have a fun day trip at some point. Ice hockey's my sport, so it's a little bit out there, a little bit unusual, crazy.
So do you know what the plan is for ice hockey with the this term now? Like what games are coming up or anything?
So the fixtures for ice hockey aren't quite released yet, but they train every Tuesday evenings. You can join the club as a Cardiff University student. There'll be a varsity game later in the year against Birmingham, I believe.
Oh, that's my home.
Swansea don't have a team, so.
Oh, I see. So there's no true rivalry going on.
No.
But it should be a fantastic event. A few hundred people went last year, and I'm sure everyone in the club would encourage as many people as possible to come along.
Great. Okay, cool. Well, so we were gonna ask you about your favourite sport, but I'm assuming that means it's ice hockey.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, there's no question about that now.
What do you like to watch though, on TV?
On TV?
Yeah.
Rugby. Rugby's a big sport.
So will you be going to any of the games that will be at Principality?
Yeah.
That is the plan.
Oh, okay.
If I ever find the time.
Too busy at the SU. I'm actually working some of those games because I work part-time for Principality as well, on shifts. Yeah, so hopefully I'll get to sneak peek in or at least get a screen or something.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So what would you say for a fresher is an important part of sports to get involved in when joining university life, if they've not done many sports before, or if they feel like they used to play sport but they've kind of been like
Slacking off.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, why is it important to them to get involved again, or like how easy is it for them to get involved again without feeling like they won't be up to scratch, kind of thing?
Yeah, it's really easy to get involved. All of the different sports clubs are welcoming of new members. It doesn't matter if you've never played before, if you're incredibly good at the sport, whatever ability you are, it's absolutely fine to play. In terms of why you should play sport, it's incredibly beneficial to your well-being and health whilst you're at university. Studies have shown that it improves academic attainment, graduate opportunities following university. I would just
join
most
sport,
importantly, it's fun, and
basically.
you'll enjoy your time at university more.
Okay, fab. Well, thank you for
Thank you so
that. Yes, so I think we'll roll over onto some dance sport.
Yeah.
Do you do much with the dance sport?
I haven't done much with the dance sport.
It says
Oh,
sport in it,
I
so you
think
should
that
be in
you
it. Yeah.
should.
You think?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should give it a go. They do a salsa one, so I think it's a requirement of VP Sports to
Okay.
attend the
I
salsa.
will
Give it a
attend
go.
the
Dance
give it a go
floor.
dance sport session.
Yeah.
Embarrass myself in front of everyone. But I'm happy to do it.
To represent for everyone. Yeah, well, I've actually done some dance sport this last year. So I did
What
salsa
dance did
with
you do?
them.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I actually wished I could have done more, but I was too busy doing this stuff on radio. So yeah, otherwise I would have ended up with no time for my degree. But dance sport is so cool. There's a club in town called Revs de Cuba, and on a Wednesday night, I believe it is, they have like a salsa night, and it's like all professionals, and
It's
they literally
really
just
fun.
grab you to dance with you, so you have
Yeah.
to like keep your moves in mind. Don't get too distracted with anything like alcohol or whatever, because otherwise you'll just be all over the place. Because like they're really good, but it's like so much fun. There's no pressure on anything. Everyone's just like really welcoming. It's also really great exercise. So like overall, it's just like one of the best sort of society clubs, I say, that you could join, especially if you're interested in dance.
Yeah.
So yeah, shall we have a little look at the dance sport
Yeah.
competition?
Let's go.
Hello, and that was dance sports competition.
I really want to join now.
Yeah, dance sport is super, super cool. I think in that competition there might have been some of the other dance societies as well. So there's loads and loads of dance that goes on in the Students' Union.
Right.
Then there's Broadway Society, so they do ballet, tap, jazz, I believe, Irish, street. Is that everything? I'm not even sure. Point classes as well with ballet. So they've got a lot going on. They're normally really, really good. If you really like it as well and you do it for a year, you can apply to become a teacher. And if you are a teacher for Broadway dance, they pay their teachers.
Oh,
so
great.
it's like a really, really cool society to get involved in if you're big on dance.
Right. And you can make a career out of it too.
Yeah, effectively. And like if you need to earn money but you also want to be in a society, that really
the
provides that
best
network
one,
for
yeah,
you. Yeah. Then there was Bollywood, which you mentioned. I don't know much about
the
them.
Bollywood Society is basically they have Indian classical and then they have Bollywood, which has like Bhangra and things like that. And it's really fun and really colourful. And it's not just for like Indians, like other international students have taken part that I've seen, and like a lot of British people, a lot of Asians, and like tons and tons of people, because it's a really fun like dance form, I feel. And I've been watching it since like forever. So like that I would definitely recommend to join, just in
I
case,
bet that's
like,
quite cool because you won't really get the opportunity to join it
very
often. Once you're outside of university, you don't really
university
see
is
that
so
much,
international that like they bring you so together
so
to
everyone
things.
can get involved in that.
Yeah.
Then there's like commercial and contemporary dance. I know there's Fad is a dance group.
Right. Yeah. They're having a Give It a Go soon as well.
There's Give It a Go's from everyone.
Everything.
So Give It a Go means you don't have to pay a membership.
Yep.
You just pay for that one session, or some of them are free, which is really, really good. And then you give it a go.
Taste
if you
it,
like it, you can pay membership and join. If you don't like it, you never have to go again. If you're stuck between that one and another one, you can try them both out and then decide. It just gives you a lot of scope to make good choices with that.
Yeah.
So so that's like sort of all that's going on with dance, but obviously Societies Fair is downstairs today and it will also be back tomorrow. So if you're looking for student media at the Societies Fair, we're actually in E Studio, which is just opposite the Great Hall. So if you want to see us, if you want to join us at CUTV, the radio station, which is just through there, although you won't be able to see because obviously the camera's not going to change.
Right.
There's a magazine and the newspaper in here. If you want to join any of those, we'll be over there.
Right.
But go take a look. Go look at all the different stalls that are at Societies Fair today and tomorrow. So tomorrow's one isn't a repeat. It's actually different societies because there's so many that they don't all fit
Have
in
to split
on
it
one
2
day.
days. Yeah.
So some of the other societies include like all the religion societies. We've got like ISOC, which is this Islamic Society, CATHSOC,
PACSOC,
Christian Union. There's like tons of
societies.
those.
There's some on like fashion and things like that as well.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
There's drama with Act 1. There's like
music.
There's subject
Glee.
societies. I know there's ones for physics. There's then like for your sports that was on yesterday, but for sports you can join either, like for example with football there's the actual Cardiff Uni football, or you can join your subject
Private
team,
team,
so you can be like, I'm on history football,
so,
that's
can
make
fun.
it a bit more fun if you don't want it to
you
be
can like get
serious.
close to your mates in your course basically.
Exactly. I know there's like an English literature society, there's all
amazing.
the subject societies,
There's so many.
they'll run loads of events. There's literally tons and tons.
Yeah.
You will never be able to do them all. Don't be a crazy fresher and join everything because you will regret it. But
pick ones that you know that you'll stick through to the end of the year.
or if you want to be adventurous, go ahead, try out something adventurous. But that's why the Give It a Go is actually really
helpful,
important because it means that you don't end up paying like £100 of membership and then be like, actually I'm only going to turn up on one of these.
Going to no meeting.
So it is really cool. There is so much to get involved in. Please do get involved though, on the other hand, if you're thinking, maybe not because I might be committed,
I don't think it takes much time.
No,
honestly.
it doesn't. It depends which
society you're in.
Pick.
Yeah.
But like, no one is expecting you when your course has started to be
on the go all the time.
There is like room for you to say, oh, I can't make it this week. Like you don't need to stress about that kind of thing. But yeah, if you're feeling as well that you're homesick or you're lonely since you got to uni, it's really, really important to get involved
to join
in
a
societies,
society.
because that's how you feel you can be part of the community a bit more, which is like super important.
Yeah, definitely.
So, talking about Act 1,
Right.
they're the drama society at university, so they do really, really cool productions. And I know some members of Act 1 were actually on CUTV drama last year, and some of them were on radio drama. So, Express Radio host radio dramas as well, which is really, really cool. The girl that ran that last year is actually working for the BBC at the moment.
Wow.
So that's motivation to get involved.
To get involved in media.
I know a lot of people from media that are doing cool things. One of the guys who was the head of music a couple of years ago, he's filmed Ollie Mers's one of his music videos.
No,
so,
oh my God.
You know, there's like really, really cool stuff that you can do. With drama-wise, it obviously opens up a big scope if you're interested in that, because you know, presenting-wise, drama's really important for radio, for TV, but also dramas themselves. Like, I think that is a really, really
I
good
think the
society.
drama department is really, really interesting because
they
there's
do
so much to
loads
do.
as well. They've done some really, really cool productions, modern stuff, some more of the classics really. So those are like your really good options with that. So shall we have a little look at the
poem.
poetry? So CUTV drama basically did a poem called And Death Shall Have No Dominion. The poem's by Dylan Thomas. Dylan Thomas is a Welsh poet.
Brilliant.
So I actually studied him on first year of my course.
Oh, nice.
Which was really cool. We like looked at how important Welsh was to their poetry. And he often focuses on like the Welsh landscape.
Oh, lovely.
Or,
which is so picturesque.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
amazing.
It's so beautiful. If you haven't been to see the Welsh countryside or any of the landscapes
You should.
yet, you
You
definitely
live in
should.
Wales.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So local places to see, although it's not really like landscapes, but they're still beautiful, as Butte Park or Roath Park. So if you're up at Uni Halls, Roath Park is literally right
Next
near
door,
you. If you're down this way towards Cathays, go to Butte Park. That's next to the castle as well. So then obviously the castle is a lovely sight to see. But if you want to go outside of Cardiff, I know Abergavenny do like a stargazing evening.
Wow.
I've wanted to go this whole time, but I don't
really want
drive,
to
so I
go.
haven't managed to make
Let's
it.
go.
But
We
we'll
should
have
literally
to book
go,
a coach and go together. It'll be a CUTV trip.
Let's make it happen.
I know there's Castle Cock. I don't know exactly where it is because I've never been myself.
We can
either.
just like Google it and find
I'm in
out.
third year and I'm terrible, so don't be like me. Go and see all the sites because they're really, really good. Cardiff's got a lot to offer in terms of the landscapes, in terms of the city.
It's a really fun, student-oriented city, but you can see so much more than that. Like with the castle and the parks and the gardens, it's amazing. It's a really fun place.
Definitely. So Dylan Thomas obviously recognised this in Wales, that Wales is amazing, and so Wales is important, Welsh is important, which leads me on to I'm looking for a head of Welsh for a new Welsh section.
Oh
so
my God.
if anyone wants to do TV and you speak Welsh, then please come up to CUTV.
We're doing a all Welsh program on Friday, aren't we?
Yes. So on Friday, everything will be in Welsh. It's all Welsh.
That'll be so much fun.
Yes. So
I'm gonna tune in.
we're gonna have Aled, who is the Welsh sort of person from Express that sorts out all of their Welsh content. Then we've got Gwenan, and she is a friend of Liam, who's the editor and chief of Gair Reef. And he obviously speaks Welsh because he came and did Welsh lessons with us yesterday. So if you missed that, catch our Welsh lessons from yesterday. So Welsh language is super important. We want to get that really involved in CUTV this year because it hasn't been done before. And Dylan Thomas is motivating us to keep the Welsh spirit alive over here, because really it is so important because we are in Wales. It's not England anymore, and you guys have to remember that. And
it's the whole cultural difference.
And get involved in Welsh culture. Well, I think wherever you go, you have to get involved, in the culture that you're moving
in the city,
to.
And we're the capital, so we should be like the most
so you've got to become pro-Welsh now.
Definitely.
So shall we take a little look at And Death Shall Have No Dominion, which is this poem by Dylan Thomas.
and death shall have no dominion.
Dead men naked, they shall be one, with the man in the wind and the west moon.
When their bones are picked clean, and their clean bones gone, they shall have stars at elbow and foot.
Though they go mad, they shall be sane. Though they sink through the sea, they shall rise again.
Though lovers be lost, love shall not, and death shall have no dominion.
So, we hope you enjoyed that
Yes.
little bit of Dylan Thomas. So that was done by all of the Welsh members we had at CUTV last year, because we wanted a Welsh poem, a Welsh poet, Welsh students involved. Again, we need more Welsh students in CUTV.
Yes, we do.
So in a moment, we're going to have an interview with Nick Fox, who is your VP Welfare. So we've interviewed all the VPs over this past week. We've had Societies, which is Lamorna.
Yeah.
We've had your SU President, which is Holly Cook. We've had... Who else have we had? We've had everyone really.
Basically,
I can't remember them all, which is terrible. We've had Kirsty, who's...
Do you have VP Education?
Yes, Padilla has been on.
Yeah.
We've had VP Heath Park, who was Kirsty.
VP Postgrad.
VP Postgrad was Jake. Yeah, so if you don't know who all your VPs are, please re-watch all of our
All the
videos
live
so
streams,
far,
yeah.
because that's really, really important to get involved in. And take a look at, really, because you really need to know what's going on in your students' union. It doesn't seem super important as a fresher, but it is pretty cool to get involved in.
And then you could apply for the role that you think you're most suitable for next year and the year after that, because being a part of student government is also a very important part of uni.
Yeah,
I think,
definitely. So okay, so Nick Fox has arrived, I believe. So we will start our interview in a moment with him. So welfare is super important to your student
life.
So it will be really, really cool to get involved in that. So if you guys want to come on, if they walk round the back of the cam and then this way. Fab.
Hi.
So hello. So there's your mic for you guys to share. So we've got Nick, who's our VP Welfare, and you're from Student Advice. What's your name?
My name's Jane.
Okay, lovely. So are you in charge of Student Advice?
No, I'm a student advisor.
Okay, great. What do you guys do? For all the freshers that don't know who either of you are and what you do, what do you do?
Shall I start?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Right, so I work in Student Advice, and Student Advice is part of Cardiff University Students' Union. It's an independent and confidential advice service that's there to support students throughout their time at Cardiff University and beyond sometimes. And in terms of freshers, we're advising students on anything and everything that might happen. We've got an email advice service, which we email to advice@cardiff.ac.uk. We have a drop-in service daily at the moment. It's between 11 and 3 weekdays. We have a text messaging service, and a lot of freshers have been handed out cards with our text message and WhatsApp services.
Really good.
Yes, that's really good. So that could be really little inquiries, or it could be some quite major inquiry, in which case then we'd be quite happy to sort of have somebody come in and talk to us in a little bit more detail. We worked over the weekend. I sort of mopped up a lot of tears and helped students who were having problems with residences or money, or just having problems settling in. And a lot of the time, it's the first term at Cardiff University is one of the hardest. Really.
Yeah,
People
definitely.
really do have to make sort of choices and
adjust.
It's about adjusting, and it could be about the course, or it could be about finding friends, or it could be just being about being away from home. All sorts of different things.
I can totally relate.
Yeah, no, totally. And and we've all been there, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Some people settle into university and it's like a dream and you make loads of friends and everything's absolutely fantastic. And
it really depends on the person. Yeah.
Really depends on the person. Some people it's harder. Doesn't mean it's going to be like that for the rest most of your university life. And sometimes
It'll
it's
get
just
better. It always gets better.
It always gets better.
Definitely.
Yeah, and we're there to help you.
I think, like, for me, I had the sort of dream version when I was a
Yeah.
fresher, but then this year I've started finding things a bit more difficult because it's third
Yeah.
year, so dissertation and everything. I've started wishing like I was at home a bit and had those comforts. So I think no matter what year you're in, student advice can be really important as a contact point if you're feeling a bit like lost and all over the shop.
Definitely, I think the pressures build. You're absolutely right, and I think your final year is often, you know, a time when you're really, really feeling it.
Yeah.
So it's like second year's a bit of a breeze, isn't it?
Yeah,
usually?
second year's all right.
Let's see, I'll tell you like after this.
For the first year and the final years are like, oh, so yeah, we're here all the way through,
So is that anything and everything they can
It's
sort of bring
anything
to
and
you?
everything. We'll always try and help somebody, even if we have not a clue
What the backstory is.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll often sort of signpost if we feel that we have no expertise. But I will tell you what our areas of expertise are. We do academic advice, and in terms of our role as the Students' Union, we're really the only service that can do that. In terms of sort of giving independent advice. The university does have a role in advising students on sort of extenuating circumstances and some issues, but in terms of advice and representation, we specialise in that. So we advise students either in a situation where the university has issues with them, or that they've got issues with the university. So we advise students and support and represent students a lot in terms of things like cheating in exams and plagiarism accusations and fitness to practice for students on professional courses. But also if students have got like complaints, and they quite often do have complaints about supervision or sort of all sorts of issues about university life or about residences, then we'll support the students in that and what we're trying to do is we're trying to sort of help that student get a resolution to the problem that they're experiencing. And we're not sort of confrontational or trying to sort of like make things sort of difficult. We want to get a resolution, and we want to empower and support the student in doing that. So we do a lot of that. Housing is another specialism. We've got a lot of our advisors have housing backgrounds and legal backgrounds.
Yeah, so you help with like dodgy landlords and
Yeah.
not getting their deposit back.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Like disrepair this time of year, it's like everyone's moved in, the house isn't clean, there are rats, you know.
That's scary.
We actually
yes.
walked past, me and the deputy of the station, we walked past one of our friends' houses last night, and they were all standing outside with a broom trying to like get
Kill a
rid
lot
of
of
a
rat.
rat.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so
Me,
it's
literally.
quite gross.
I would never
We,
live
like,
in a house
didn't say
with
hi
a
for
rat.
very long because we didn't want to be involved in that situation.
Right. But that's what it is, and then at the end, and then all the way through, and all the damp starts coming through. So they paint over the walls in the summer, and it all looks okay when everyone moves in, and the damp starts coming through in about February. 'Cause it starts getting like colder, and wetter, and then there's issues with tenancy deposits at the end, and tenancy deposits not getting paid back. So so housing's a big thing. We do consumer advice. We'll advise on absolutely anything really.
That's
If somebody
great.
walks in the door, we'll never turn them away, and we'll try and help.
Oh, that's
That's
great.
awesome.
So if you're feeling like that, you've
Yeah.
got no one to turn to, you can always go to
Yeah.
student
Student
advice,
advice,
and if they
yeah.
know somewhere else to send you, then they can send you there. I know there's obviously a student support centre in town.
Absolutely, and
too.
they've got like a brilliant sort of a advice and money team. They can provide sort of funding advice to students. They've got a wellbeing service, counselling and wellbeing service.
Careers and employment as well.
Careers and employability, and very important is the disability and dyslexia service, which is where students who need sort of additional help because they maybe have a dyslexia or a disability or a mental health issue, and they can get specific support and adjustments to support them in their studies. So for instance, like extra time in exams if you need it for health reasons, or breaks, or it could be absolutely anything, but they're the specialists in that area, and that's very important.
And is that over at student advice that they can find them?
So the advice and there's international student support as well. So international student support that sort of there to support international students, and particularly sort of with visa inquiries and things like that. They're based, and the money and the advice and money team are based on the third floor of the Students' Union building. They've just moved there. And then the other services are at 50 Park Place, and I might get this slightly wrong, but I think disability, dyslexia and well-being is still at 50 Park Place, and careers and employability. I'm not sure where they're They're at 50 as well. So they're all there. So you've got sort of, it's all in one kind of
All
little,
sort of next to each
fairly
other.
close to each other actually, which is good. So students can sort of go in between
and see where they need to
and
go.
we work a lot with all those services, you know, to make sure that then we're kind of all working together to make sure that that students
are happy.
they're happy and well and good.
So earlier in this week we actually interviewed the disabilities officer for you guys and said if you are a disabled student and you're struggling, that it's good to report things back to him. So that's Charlie Knights. And with mental health, there's George Watkins, who's your mental health officer. So again, you can report back to him. But if there are any other issues that you don't want to sort of report and you just want to find out about, then best thing is to do is go to student advice or go to the sort of clump at 50 Park place and try and find who can help you there, because there will definitely be someone to
just
help.
Get help, just ask for help. That's so important. Don't ever sort of think
and everyone needs help once in a while.
Yeah, we all do need help once in a while.
So as VP Welfare, what have you done so far? What do you do for the rest of the year?
Good question. So summer, it's been a weird time of year actually to start, because there's no students obviously, so roles very much office-based admin, meetings, prep, introductions, conferences and training, and now everyone's back and I love it. Like personally, I would much prefer to go out and speak to students. So Freshers Week, this week we've been like door knocking on halls, playing ball with students in the TAF, like going around Freshers Fair, making sure everyone's okay, and
making that contact.
Well, I feel like I'm slacking, but it's our job, but because I enjoy it, I feel like I should be in the office, like doing my emails
but
or
it's
something.
not about being in the office.
Well, that's just
really.
it.
It's about doing your job outside,
So in terms of like introducing ourselves,
connecting with
door
students.
knocking was great, and equally it's quite handy because some of the issues that are flagged up that haven't been dealt with yet, you sort of come in the next morning, send an email, and by the afternoon it's done.
Yeah, that's great. So it's really getting communication out to people,
exactly,
isn't it? Really, I think some of our like politicians really need to take advice from that and actually like go out to people a bit more. Knock on some people's doors and actually find out our opinions. Yeah, so that's definitely a way to connect straight first-hand to our new students and to older students who might need something from welfare. So what kind of things does VP Welfare deal with?
Or what
like
have I got planned?
Like what problems are students always having?
At the moment, residences, private housing. I work collectively with advice, so like weekly one-to-ones with Joshua, which have kind of been postponed a bit because we're so busy with freshers. But yeah, there's always some crisis somewhere, and usually it's more of a kind of signposting to the right place. Because I'm not trained to give advice or anything like that, so. There are professionals in the university and the Students' Union.
You've got your campaigns though.
Yeah, the campaigns
really important
throughout the year. So we've got Housing Week in November. I've got a letting agent review survey which is live, so definitely do it. In terms of trying to get as much feedback from students, I've got 200 at the moment. I think the aim is to get.
Is it rate your letting agent?
Well, yeah, basically, yeah. So also for university halls, private halls, university-owned housing as well. So even if your landlord is managing a property, it's for that as well. So I collect all of the data,
so
have some really good feedback that we can publish, and go and shame the worst letting agent kind of thing.
The ones that are really bad. Well, I actually checked like the Google reviews, but I always get a bit skeptical about those because I'm like, do they just get their own people who are employed by them to review
they
them?
Definitely
but
do you reckon they do?
Basically, what I got from
they all
most
can't be that
agencies
good.
when I looked at them
One
was
star.
like, everyone was terrible. So hopefully, but you doing it in sort of a more organised
Have you done it
way.
yet?
No, I haven't actually.
It's on my Facebook page.
Okay, so we'll take a little look.
Have a look. I might be able to get you to share it or something or post it.
So are you Nick Fox or Nicholas on
Nick
Facebook?
Fox. Well, there's two. One is my work account, one's my home account.
Okay.
But my work account is the one with the white background. I kind of look like a thumb.
Yeah.
So go for that
Everyone
one.
looks like a thumb in those pictures.
So one way to get around other people doing it is student number. So it'd be like filtering out everyone, so that someone doesn't sit there from Horizon and do it 50 times.
Okay, that's
hopefully
really
it'll be accurate then.
It should be
the more you get, the better, isn't it, in terms of accuracy? So
yeah, definitely, and that will be really, really important to you, even if you're only a fresher this year. For when you move in house next year, it'll be a really good thing to source your agency and your landlord from, because there can be quite a lot of issues with that. I know some people who've moved into places that seem really great, everything seemed fine, and then they can't get any of their money back. And again, you can go to student advice for that. So as we can see, you've got a very good relationship going with your plans.
With Housing Advice Week, though, that's a campaign that we do in partnership with VP Welfare, and that's really about raising awareness for students who are seeking accommodation. And the first thing that we always say is it's in November-ish, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And the first thing we say is don't rush or don't make any snap decisions, because there's plenty of student accommodation out there, and agents put a lot of pressure on students to sign contracts really, really early. Right. But also we're trying to help students to make an informed choice about where they live and know that they're right, because I think they are customers in terms of looking for accommodation, and often it doesn't exactly feel that way. Yeah. So I think it's that they could shop around, get the best deal, get the best value for money, and the best service possible as well. And we're working with Nick on that, so we'll be out there.
Equally, at the moment, Kitay's has more houses than it has students.
Absolutely.
So you find that in November, December time, the houses are quite expensive.
Yeah.
And by March time, landlords are getting worried, so they slash the prices to get houses to move. So something to bear in mind.
Yeah, sometimes you can haggle as well. Last year I managed to haggle my price down a bit, so that wasn't so bad. Yeah, we got like £15 a month off, which is like quite significant overall from the year.
Yeah, well done. It's feeling you can do that, because otherwise you're going, oh, I don't know.
She should work in house.
Absolutely.
I'll come join you guys.
Come with us.
We saw that you've got policies to implement counselling for international students. So what's going on with
my counselling for internationals in particular?
Or in general.
So
what's going on?
I work closely with the student support services. I have like one-to-ones with the people higher up, and the people on the ground actually. So it's quite get the gist of what's going on. I'm not completely happy with the waiting times, to be honest. I know it's always going to be an issue. But I think there definitely needs to be a rethink of strategy. Like particularly the Centre for Student Life is coming in a few years' time, and that should be great.
That's going to focus on a lot.
For the 3 years, as in the freshers that have started now, won't see it. So what provision have we got in place which is going to actually sort the issue, or at least tackle the issue for the interim period?
For the time being,
And I don't think any student should have to wait 6 weeks for an appointment. To be perfectly honest, and I don't think if you turn to a walk-in service that you should get turned away.
Yeah, definitely, that sounds good. I've actually used a lot of the counselling and walk-in service. What I found with the walk-in one is it was a bit like a crash counsel in 5 minutes, and then I was at the end like, oh my gosh, I've just said everything, but then I had to leave, and I was like, okay, what do I do now?
Express counselling.
But it is really useful now that I've started counselling, and so I'm coming towards the end, and I'm trying to wait for something from Cardiff City itself to provide me with more. Because I finished with my sessions at the university, so it's quite useful having that drop in as an interim sort of between those, to just keep myself going rather than sort of flagging in between. So it's really important to take a look at what's available there. If you're struggling, you can drop in and go to counselling and say, these are my issues, how can you help me?
Fix it.
Yeah, exactly, and they will help you. Then there's a lot of wellbeing days as well. I know that they run. They do like an origami one.
They do workshops, wellbeing workshops. They do like a walking thing around Cardiff every week or every 2 weeks, I think. It's on the internet, but I think it's about an hour or so, just to wander around, have a talk, quite relax, get some fresh air. And it's more just for the support is there if you do need it. So you just have to find it. That's the issue, really.
Yeah, definitely. But hopefully, because everything is in that little clump, as we were saying before,
just go there,
you should be able to pop in and out and find which one that you need to get to. So we saw that you're actually the youngest.
I am the baby in the bowl.
Are you?
I am.
I didn't know this.
21.
21.
Yeah.
So
The question is, do you find all the other VPs more experienced or intimidating because
only Holly. Only Holly. But I live with Holly and she's great.
President, so it makes sense, doesn't it?
She's not at all. She's not at all. So it's more like I get an email from Holly, what do I say?
Because she was VP.
Yeah, welfare. So
And would you recommend students who graduate in the next year, who
Mhm.
will only be the same age as you, to run for
Definitely,
your position?
absolutely. Any of the roles, particularly welfare, because that's the best one, obviously. But yeah, just don't be put off by it. Like, whatever age you are, really. You could be 30, you could be 50 and run, or you could be 18 and just finish your first year. So it's they chuck you in the deep end a little bit, but you do get all the training, and we have just about found our feet now.
That's great.
So, but it's a
coming
great role
towards
to
the
do.
end of summer,
Really good role.
always gets you a bit more like thrown about over the summer and then
Yeah,
settle back
yeah.
in again post freshers. I knew that you'd done stuff around sexual health as well. As welfare, that was in your manifesto when you ran. So what are you doing around
Basically,
sexual
what am
health?
I? So,
Not you personally.
I was on the SHAG committee for 2 years, my second and third year. Started off as their secretary and then ended up running their C card, which is like a free condom pickup point every week.
Yeah.
The council run, and obviously I've done it for 2 years. It's kind of like my baby kind of thing.
Oh.
And then you see the issues that students have when they go to the clinics in Cardiff. In Cardiff, it's sort of worse than other health boards around Wales. So health has devolved to Wales, and one of the issues that English students find that I saw as obviously C card officer, you see them every week, is that you can't go to a GP and pee in a pot like you do in England because it's not preventative care. So they'll direct you to the Cardiff Royal Infirmary, which is very busy all the time. So it's more in terms of lobbying the health board to offer better provisions. I know the Park Place surgery does sexual health testing, doesn't do bloods, so the only place in Cardiff to do bloods is the Royal Infirmary. But 300,000 students, one clinic, or 300,000 people.
I found I'm actually part of
Yeah.
both house surgery is my doctors, and they will do bloods on
They do bloods there?
sexual health
Do they?
testing.
They're
Yeah,
good.
so
They have a clinic, I think, don't they? Do they?
Yeah.
Do they?
I think they do.
they're-
Only because I'm
It's
one of the
awful for
patients
me
they
now,
said
doesn't
about
it?
sexual health clinic that day. That's
Okay.
So
They do
they're
do it,
linked
yeah.
to the Park Place surgery, so
Yeah.
the clinic that
Park Place
goes
do
on
walk-ins
to
on a
the clinic.
Wednesday, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours.
But they'll give you just like swabs normally, but
Yeah.
if you request it, they do the test
They will
for
do.
AIDS
Okay.
and
Oh, really?
what's it-
HIV?
what's the other one?
Syphilis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
HIV.
HIV
really?
positive.
Oh, really?
And yeah,
Okay.
they do a couple of bloods. It's not everything, but
Okay.
it's better than
Oh, I
nothing.
didn't know that.
I saw it.
Yeah.
I was on a holiday in Dorset. This was years ago, and I was in Boots, and they just had like a whole bucket full of. I think it was chlamydia testing kits.
See,
or
that's what I'm
something.
used to because
And you
I'm
could literally
from
just,
England.
yeah, literally just go and pick one up and take them
Yeah.
away. They were free.
Oh,
and they were
okay.
just in Boots in a thing. I just thought it was such a brilliant idea.
It is.
Yeah. And
But
we
obviously,
don't.
the Welsh government won't pay for it because it's not preventative.
Preventative.
And the university won't pay for it because they're an educational body, and why should
So
they?
it's
Uh,
what's called
So
positive,
yeah,
isn't
so
it?
you
Right.
end up-
Yeah.
so that one of the first times I went to the clinic here, I did the walk-in for under 19s as a fresher, and got there at 1. Like walk-in opened at 1, and I was 5th in the queue, I think. And from me going in to coming out, I came out 5:30.
What?
So it's 5.5 hours to
Oh
pee in a
my
pot
God.
and sit
To
and wait for a
literally
nurse.
pee in a pot.
Oh my
That
god.
is
So
terrible.
well, I did the bloods as well, but
That's
in terms
awful.
of me running a campaign to get people to go and get tested, I would have to be confident that you would actually be able to get an appointment relatively. Like, because if we
Yeah.
have 100 people that are going to swamp it for the week and they're already at capacity, it would be quite nice to have a system in place where they can actually be seen that week.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that is something that sort of needs to be available to students, really, especially, well, for everyone ever as well. And I think there's also just part of it is like it does aid your mental health. Like sometimes if you just have a flap about it, it's just easy to take one from the doctors and get it done,
Yeah.
rather than like panicking over nothing. That's and even sometimes you can sit there and you know that nothing's wrong, but if you
You're
just
still
have
stressing,
someone
aren't
to
you?
yeah, exactly. If
Peace
you
of
have
mind, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
exactly.
definitely.
Yeah, so both house surgery is where I go, which I find really good. Even though I moved into CUTV, I still stayed there because I find
They're
them
okay
such
with
a good
that, I think, aren't
surgery.
they? Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a surgery, I haven't signed up. I think there were most sign-ups at the halls when people moved in.
Yeah.
But if you haven't, then I would recommend them. I think they are really good for that. Great. So thank you for your interview.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
it's
really
good, it's
valuable.
good.
And yeah, if any of you have any welfare related questions or advice needs, then see one of these two, that's Jane and Nick, and I'm sure they can help you out. So I think we'll wrap up for today. On that note, that was quite a good way to end. Yeah, so I've been Liz.
I'm Meg.
And we'll be bringing you tomorrow's Freshers live stream, which is day 8. I have no idea who we're interviewing tomorrow. I was about to try and say that, but it's on the timetable.
We'll figure it out.
It's got to that point in Freshers when my mind is frazzled. So yeah, thank you all for watching.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, please tune in tomorrow for more Freshers. Bye.